Lately, I've been reading and hearing a lot about the recent case related to the Aravalli Hills, and it honestly makes me feel worried because these hills are not just old rocks but a living system that supports forests, wildlife, groundwater, and even the climate balance of nearby cities.
I feel the same concern, because the Aravalli Range is one of the oldest mountain systems in the world, and despite its importance, it has been continuously damaged by illegal mining, deforestation, and unplanned construction, which has now become a serious environmental issue.
Exactly, and what hurts the most is that many people still think the Aravalli Hills are useless or empty land, while in reality they act as a natural barrier against desertification and help stop the Thar Desert from spreading toward fertile regions.
Yes, and apart from preventing desert expansion, these hills also play a major role in groundwater recharge, because rainwater slowly seeps through the rocky surface and replenishes underground water, which is extremely important for cities facing water shortages.
That's why the recent case got so much attention, because it highlighted how human activities like mining and land encroachment are destroying this natural system for short-term profit, without thinking about the long-term consequences for future generations.
Absolutely, and the impact of this destruction is already visible, as we see rising temperatures, frequent dust storms, loss of biodiversity, and a decline in water levels, all of which directly affect human life, especially in nearby urban areas.
I think saving the Aravalli Hills is not just the responsibility of the government or courts, but also of common people like us, because environmental protection becomes successful only when society understands its value and acts responsibly.
I completely agree, and one of the first steps to save the Aravalli Range should be strict enforcement of environmental laws, so that illegal mining, tree cutting, and construction activities can be controlled and punished effectively.
Along with strict laws, awareness is equally important, because when people understand that these hills reduce air pollution, control climate extremes, and support wildlife, they will naturally feel motivated to protect them rather than exploit them.
That's true, and schools, colleges, and social media platforms can play a huge role in spreading awareness by educating young people about the ecological importance of the Aravalli Hills and the dangers of ignoring environmental damage.
Another important solution is large-scale afforestation, because planting native trees and restoring degraded forest areas can slowly bring back biodiversity, improve soil quality, and strengthen the natural ecosystem of the hills.
Yes, and restoring the Aravalli ecosystem will also help wildlife that has lost its natural habitat due to human interference, because animals need forests and open land to survive, migrate, and maintain ecological balance.
When forests disappear, animals move toward human settlements in search of food and water, which increases human-wildlife conflict, so protecting natural habitats is actually a way to protect both animals and people.
Exactly, and we must also focus on sustainable development, because development should not mean destruction, but rather a balance where economic growth happens without damaging nature beyond repair.
Sustainable development means using natural resources wisely, planning cities properly, and respecting environmental boundaries, which is something we often ignore in the race for rapid urbanization and industrial growth.
The recent case reminds us that ignoring nature always comes at a cost, because environmental damage does not affect only one region, but slowly impacts weather patterns, water availability, and public health across large areas.
I also feel that local communities should be involved in conservation efforts, because people living near the Aravalli Hills understand the land better and can help protect it if they are given support and alternative livelihoods.
That's a very important point, because when local people depend on illegal mining for income, simply banning activities without providing alternatives can create social problems, so sustainable employment options are necessary.
Ecotourism, forest conservation projects, and environmental monitoring can provide jobs while encouraging people to protect nature rather than destroy it for survival.
Yes, and technology can also help, because satellite monitoring, drones, and digital mapping can be used to track illegal activities and ensure transparency in environmental protection efforts.
Ultimately, the Aravalli Hills are a natural heritage, and once destroyed, they cannot be rebuilt, which is why immediate action is necessary to prevent irreversible damage.
I truly believe that if governments, environmentalists, communities, and young citizens work together with honesty and determination, the Aravalli Range can still be saved and restored for future generations.
This case should serve as a wake-up call, reminding us that nature does not belong to us, but we belong to nature, and protecting it is essential for our own survival and well-being.
Absolutely, and saving the Aravalli Hills is not just about protecting a mountain range, but about protecting life, balance, and the future of our environment.
Hi Rahul, I always notice that you understand everything when our teacher speaks in English. You smile, you nod your head, and you even write correct answers, but when it is time to speak, you suddenly become very quiet. So I wanted to ask you honestly why you do not speak even though you understand English so well.
Hi Anjali, to be very honest with you, I understand English clearly when I listen or read, but when I try to speak, my mind becomes blank. My heart beats fast, and I feel scared that I will make mistakes and people will laugh at me, so I prefer to stay silent.
I completely understand your feeling because many people face the same problem, but you should remember that understanding English is already a big achievement, and speaking is just the next step, which can be improved with practice, patience, and the right mindset.
That sounds good, but whenever I open my mouth to speak, I start thinking about grammar rules, correct tense, pronunciation, and vocabulary, and because of this overthinking, I stop speaking before I even start.
That is the first thing you need to change, because if you focus too much on grammar while speaking, you will lose confidence. So my first tip for you is to stop worrying about mistakes and start focusing on communication, because people care more about your message than your grammar.
That makes sense, but I still feel shy speaking in front of others, especially fluent speakers, because I compare myself with them and feel that my English is very weak.
Comparing yourself with others is another big problem, so my second tip is to compare yourself only with your past self, because if you speak even one sentence today that you could not speak yesterday, then you are improving, and that improvement is more important than perfection.
I like that idea, but I do not get many chances to speak English in daily life, since my family and friends mostly speak Hindi, so I feel stuck.
That is very common, so my third tip is to create your own English environment by talking to yourself, describing your daily activities in English, thinking in English, and even speaking in front of a mirror, because these habits slowly train your brain to speak naturally.
Talking to myself sounds a little strange, but I think it might help me practice without fear.
Exactly, and my fourth tip is to start with short and simple sentences instead of trying to speak long and perfect sentences, because fluency grows step by step, and confidence grows when you succeed in small attempts.
I always try to speak big sentences to sound smart, but then I fail and feel disappointed.
That is why my fifth tip is to use simple words that you already know, because good English is not about difficult vocabulary, it is about clear expression, and even native speakers use simple words in daily conversations.
That actually makes me feel relaxed, because I already know many simple words.
My sixth tip is to listen actively to English conversations, podcasts, or videos, and repeat sentences loudly, because repetition improves pronunciation, rhythm, and speaking flow without much effort.
I usually listen to English videos silently, but I never repeat them.
That is why my seventh tip is to practice speaking every day, even if it is only for 5 or 10 minutes, because consistency is more powerful than long practice once a week.
I think I can manage 5 minutes daily without any excuse.
Finally, my eighth and most powerful tip is to believe that you can speak English, because confidence starts in the mind, and if you tell yourself every day that you are improving, your fear will slowly disappear.
Thank you so much, Anjali, because this conversation has changed the way I think about speaking English, and now I feel motivated, confident, and ready to unlock my English voice step by step.
You are most welcome, Rahul, and remember that every fluent speaker was once a beginner, so keep speaking, keep learning, and never stop believing in yourself.
That's all for today, thank you.
Subscribe the channel for more. Good morning, how are you today, and did you have a good sleep last night because the weather was very calm and pleasant?
Good morning, I am feeling good today, and yes, I slept very well because I went to bed early after finishing my work and putting my phone away.
That is very nice to hear, because sleeping on time helps us feel fresh and active in the morning and makes our whole day better.
Yes, I agree with you completely, because when I sleep late, I feel lazy and tired and cannot focus on my daily work properly.
By the way, where are you going this morning, because I see you dressed neatly and carrying a bag as if you are going somewhere important?
I am going to college for my classes, and after that I plan to visit the library to study and complete my assignments peacefully.
That sounds like a good plan, because studying in the library helps us concentrate better and saves us from noise and distractions at home.
Yes, and I really like the quiet environment of the library where I can read books slowly and understand things clearly without any pressure.
I am actually going to the market right now because I need to buy vegetables, fruits, and some daily household items for my home.
Going to the market in the morning is a good habit, because the vegetables are fresh, the shops are less crowded, and the weather is not too hot.
You are right, and I also enjoy walking to the market slowly while observing people, shops, and daily life around me.
Walking is also very good for health, because it keeps our body active and helps us stay fit without needing any special exercise.
Yes, my doctor always says that regular walking and eating healthy food can prevent many health problems in the future.
Yes, my doctor always says that regular walking and eating healthy food can prevent many health problems in the future.
I usually eat simple food like bread, eggs, fruits, or sometimes homemade dishes, because they are easy to prepare and give enough energy.
That is a good habit, because skipping breakfast can make us feel weak and tired during work or study hours.
I completely agree, and I have noticed that on days when I eat breakfast properly, I feel more positive and active.
Do you prefer tea or coffee in the morning? Because many people cannot start their day without one of them.
I prefer tea in the morning because it feels light and refreshing, and I drink coffee only in the evening when I feel tired.
I only drink tea because coffee makes me feel uncomfortable and disturbs my sleep if I drink it late.
Everyone has different likes and habits, and that is what makes people interesting and unique.
That is very true, and learning about others helps us understand them better and improve our communication skills.
What do you usually do in your free time when you are not studying or attending classes?
In my free time, I like watching movies, playing cricket with my friends, and sometimes listening to music to relax my mind.
That sounds fun, because spending time with friends and doing activities we enjoy helps reduce stress and keeps us happy.